The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Can't put the toothpaste back in the genie or the...
Yeah, that's it. That's the saying.
Business is a dog-eat-dog world, and I am a shark who eats doggy dogs.
No, you came out and blurted it. There was no, hey, Chew, you can't say a word, or you can say a word. It was just like vomit, and you're like trying to put the vomit back in the gut.
I am going to pull it down underwater and drown it.
I think vomit in the gut is better.
I am going to be one of those insane sharks who jumps up on the pier and grabs the doggy dog and pulls it back on the way down.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight. He ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all about it. They making plans, we sit and count. Our chairs stacked just like a mountain.
Well, I was thinking of you gentlemen yesterday.
Well, thank you.
The collective gentlemen.
Uh-oh.
Because I was doing a little electrical work at the house. And all I could hear was Chewy's voice of, plumbing, you're going to get wet. Electricity, you're going to die.
Mm-hmm.
Had a few sparks out of a light fixture in my son's room. So that was wild. Here's the thing, Gabe, and I know that you're an electrician by proxy.
I like to think of myself as, well, when we were kids, our parents would always call us junior chipmunks. So I like to think of myself as a junior chipmunk electrician, yes.
Junior chipmunk electrician? You're electrician adjacent.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So
dabbled.
riddle me this. Why in the world would the room that I was working on the light fixture be on a different breaker than the light fixture? We're talking about a ceiling,
Yep,
right?
mhm.
Descended from the ceiling light fixture.
Yeah.
Needs to be replaced. I went downstairs, clicked the breaker to my kid's room. It says, west
Yeah.
bedroom on it. And just to be safe, I clicked the whole west side of the house. Like,
Yeah.
click, 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 click. All of the kids' bedrooms are on one end of the house. And so I go in there. I'm on the step stool. I'm working with the springs to try to, get this light fixture off the ceiling. And all of a sudden, sparks fly. Not like in the romantic sense
Sure.
either. Come to find out that the light fixture is on a separate breaker. Go downstairs and it says son's bedroom light on a totally separate breaker on a whole new panel.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That is called bad work. That's, if you're looking for the answer, that is just, that is poorly done, poorly constructed, and you would be, I don't know if you would be surprised now that you've had to deal with it, the number of houses that have just poor electrical work that are done, and, you just kind of...
They're just over there like twisting
I
twisting
don't
the
know
wires.
if this was something that was just added later, so, whoever did it decided, eventually I'll get it back over on in the other breaker, and just never did it. But yeah, that's what I like to refer to as poor workmanship.
Chewy, are you shocked?
What were you trying to do?
Replace the light fixture. It's an old light fixture. It's, they don't make the bulbs anymore. Dario went to the store a week ago to try to find a new bulb, and they're like, we don't even make these anymore. What kind of antique do you have in your house? So I said, okay, well, we'll just replace the light fixture. And we have done that in my daughter's bedroom. She's got a beautiful light fixture there. So I thought, how hard could it be? Like, again, I know that it's hard. I know that I'm not trying to, diminish the electrician's
You need
knowledge.
certification to become a master electrician, but sure, you know exactly what you're doing.
Did they add electrical work when you put your addition on in the basement?
Yes.
My guess is they moved it to that breaker because of loading issues. Correct, Gabe?
They could.
Probably needed more power.
I don't know if I'm guessing the second breaker already existed. The second box already existed in your house, Jen. So they probably added on to that for the basement. If they're doing that in the basement, I don't know why whoever did basement work would add the light fixture specifically for that room to a different...
Well, stay with me for a moment, because when the sparks flew, it kicked out the power
Yeah.
to the dining room
Yeah.
and the mud room.
Yeah, well, because it's
tripped
going
the
to trip the
breaker.
breaker. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
They're all on the same one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not the box.
Yeah. Yeah.
My son's room.
Correct.
Again, stay with me on the map here. My son's room is in the west corner of our house.
Okay.
The laundry room and the mud room are in the lower level, east corner of the house. Somewhere those two things are on the same breaker. Again, I would have never known. I would have never known, except for that the laundry room popped and the mud room popped, that my son's son's bedroom light is what it says on the breaker.
So, did
Hope you weren't doing a load.
continue work? Did you continue working? Because you can shut off the main breaker and then there's no power
Totally.
to the house.
And I
at
probably
all.
could have, but I got scared when the sparks came out of the ceiling, and I was
Okay.
like, I'm going to call someone. We're going to call someone,
Again,
get this taken care of.
I feel now that you and Chewy have had these moments where, you're learning lessons, and I appreciate that as the son of an electrician, that you guys are learning these lessons. Granted, I've been preaching these lessons to you, and it seems you guys insist on learning the hard way, but at least you're learning the lesson eventually.
Yeah, that is the hard way. Could have just listened to Gabe and his dad, but no, I'm over here going, okay, let's take a break on that.
I'm awake now.
Yeah, let's get you a lamp. That's what we're going to do. We just got Chase a lamp in the meantime, right?
Yeah, we can get that thing here by the end of the night. Just go to Amazon, quick delivery, Prime
Amazon.
delivery.
I ran into another room of the house, took a lamp out of there, and brought it in his room, and was like, here's the solution for now. Chewy, did you say you were doing some work as well? Were you doing some work on the house?
Was I?
I don't know. I thought.
I'm always doing work. The nice thing is I learned how to fix sprinklers because of Angry. Angry taught me, because that can get expensive if you're calling a sprinkler company out because you got the service, the travel charge and all that stuff. So I fixed it myself. I've become more handy down here. The problem is down here, just everything breaks because it's so hot.
Really?
Yes, everything. This house requires the most maintenance because of salt water and just the work down here.
The salt water's got to be the biggest thing, right?
Yeah, that beats on everything. But there is something called Midwest work ethic. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes.
I believe I'm familiar with the concept.
Yes. Like here, everyone just kind of moves at a logy pace. Like I'm sitting here watching my neighbors. They're on 2 months of putting in a deck or a dock. Mine took a week. What these guys do is they come put 3 boards on. So Angry lives around the corner from me. And he's like, these guys come fishing by my house every day from like noon to 3. And I want to scream at him. But that's how it rolls. That's why people from the Midwest that come down here and you say you're from the Midwest, they hire you like that. Like that.
So are they doing the work themselves?
It's a company.
Oh, so they did hire a company, and the company is taking 2 months
No, they
to do
did
it?
hire a company, but the company is probably more interested in fishing than finishing this thing up. So it's a little frustrating.
What else are Midwesterners known for? I always heard Midwestern nice, right? That there's a niceness from people from the Midwest.
No, I disagree with that 1,000%.
You think
I'm
your
just
opinion is
telling you.
skewed at all by
I think No, I think
person
the
that you
fact
live
that they
with?
don't see the sun for a long time, I disagree with that. I disagree.
I thought that was a pretty
disagree.
universal tenant.
Wait,
I
so
thought
you're
that was
telling me
pretty,
you're telling me the
understood.
people out east are as nice as the people in the Midwest?
No. I'm not talking down east, but I can tell you this: the people in Florida are much nicer than they are in the Midwest. I'm just saying.
Was it because they're all retired? They don't work anymore? They got less stress?
Probably. I think the sun has something to do with it. Lack of sunlight makes people maybe a little miserable.
So does a lack of a job.
Well, less miserable, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Down there, like they.
Gabe.
We got nothing to do. But
Number
you're retired
one,
all day.
Gabe, you have no room to talk.
Chewy.
You have no room to talk. You've never lived anywhere other than Wisconsin. So you're out. Josh, you're out too. Jen, you lived in Connecticut?
Doesn't
Oh,
count.
shoot. That's right.
Doesn't
All right, you're
count.
back in. Come on in. Come on.
Not only did he live in
Yeah.
New York, he got the full experience.
That's fair. You know what threw me off? I'm going to be 1,000% honest with you guys.
When aren't you?
Why it threw me off? The way Josh dresses. I'm like, there's no way you can dress like that and live in New York City.
Oh man, see, this is how.
But
I know
knowing
you haven't been
Josh-
to New York enough. You go to certain, especially where Josh lived in Brooklyn. Like
Yeah.
Josh fits in like a glove. He's wearing camouflage
Really?
right now with where he lived in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
See, I think Josh is the biggest mystery on the show. Can't really figure him. Would you agree?
I mean, he's my pal. I think I've got him figured out pretty good.
I keep thinking I got him pegged.
I think,
No, but
I
Josh,
think I'm
he's
the most
dropping-
straightforward, which is what confuses you.
Yeah, but
Most
you.
straightforward. Interesting.
If I look at you, I'm like happy-go-lucky guy, and you don't even want to hang out with your friends.
Correct.
Yeah. Uh-huh. There's
Which is-
there's 1 or 2 days a month where Josh wants to hang out with people, and that's about it.
I actually really like this because Chewy prides himself on having everything figured out, having it all figured out.
Yeah.
And Joshy poses a bit of mystery to him. You know, Josh is a
is.
riddle.
It's the clothes. Because I sit in airports with, when we're bored and a flight's delayed or something like that, having a couple pops. I can, just by the way a person dresses, I can tell you where they're from. And I bat like probably 90%.
Well, how do you know? Do you ask them?
No, I can just look at them. Like North Carolina, Virginia, all those people, they wear khakis with the checkered shirts, and they got the little pretty boy
They are
hair
a
combed over to the side.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah. No, that's true.
New York people always wearing dark clothes. East Coast always wearing dark clothes. Midwesterners are pretty easy. Most times they're wearing some kind of T-shirt, sweatshirt where they went to college or something, Purdue or Indiana or Illinois. Texas, they just...
It sort of feels like the sweatshirt with the name of a state on it is cheating.
Yeah.
Chew. I'm not gonna lie. Like the fact that the sweatshirt
Well, I'm just
has
telling you. Colorado, grunge city, little unkept. Texas, big everything.
I'm gonna start doing this same game when I go to college campuses.
Yeah.
My accuracy is gonna rival Chewy's at 90%. Here I am in Boulder. I'm gonna guess you go to Colorado.
Yeah, so I'd say I got a pretty good batting average when it comes to that.
I love the thought of you giving yourself a good batting average.
Yeah, right.
Just assuming
What are
that.
you
Yeah,
saying?
I'm nailing it.
There's been no fact checking. It's like you think
It's
that
his
someone
favorite
is
type
from
of fact.
something, a place, and then you don't ask to like confirm that you were correct or not. You just go with it.
The only one he knows for sure is the producer with the Purdue sweatshirt. Ah, Indiana.
Nailed it.
Right. The
You are a
problem here is,
treasure.
what if I went to Purdue and now live in Texas? How would you know?
Nope.
Well, I
Can't
don't
tell
think...
Sorry. Nope. That's not allowed. No, that doesn't fit within the rules.
It doesn't change the way... You didn't change the way you dressed when you went to New York, Josh.
No, but a lot
Fair.
of people do. Like, I have friends that lived in Austin, and guess who now has cowboy boots? Never had those before. They're there now.
Well,
It's part of their outfit.
I assume when you rent your first apartment or buy your first house down there, it just comes with the purchase.
You sign the lease,
Yeah.
and next thing you know, you've got yourself a pair of boots.
A box shows up at the front door. What are these? Well, welcome to Texas. Here are your cowboy boots.
I'm going to start wearing my Stetson to the airport just to mess with Chewy, just to screw up his thought process.
start wearing a bolo tie.
Right? Just start wearing things. What are you wearing that? Well, because Chewy thinks he can nail where everyone at the airport is from, but he's not going to get me. Ron and the Key weighing in on the Carbless Talking text line, calling Josh an enigma wrapped in a riddle, wrapped in a flannel.
What
that's
movie is
fair.
that from? What movie?
So that's actually a playoff of a Seinfeld take describing Newman.
No, it's a movie. Ask Ron what movie it is. I can't remember the movie.
He's listening.
Just
He's
tell
an
me.
enigma wrapped in a riddle, wrapped in a Twinkie.
It's a movie. I guarantee. Ron, text the movie.
I just told you what the Seinfeld quote was.
No. No.
Facts like that, it's hard to argue.
You told him, Chew. We got to take a break. It's about that time. All warmed up here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Let's get to Jason Wilde. He's coming up next. Stick around.
Oh, JFK. You're welcome. Thank you. Sorry to cut you off.
So what's he playing off of? What's the word he's supposed to be saying at the end?
It was just an enigma wrapped in a riddle. It's David Ferry, the weirdo, talking about the assassination. I am dialed in.
He's 1,000,000% correct. You can go ahead and play the drop. It says, a riddle wrapped in a mystery inside an enigma is famously used in the film JFK, 1991, to describe the complexities of the assassination of John F. Kennedy.
90%. Just call me that from now on. Thank you.
Can we call you 89%?
Sure.
It's close.
With the dedicated Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. For 15 years, we've been serving businesses, organizations, and individuals in the area with a long-standing commitment to the healthcare and not-for-profit sectors. Whether it's expansion to commercial payments, Fifth Third Bank offers a full suite of financial services and solutions to navigate your organization's complex needs. Great team over at Fifth Third Bank. They are always going to make sure that you and your business are on top of their mind. Experience the difference. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Brought to you by the Capital One Saver Card. With Saver, you earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining, entertainment, and at grocery stores. That's unlimited cash back on ordering takeout from home or unlimited cash back on tickets to concerts and games. So grab a bite, grab a seat, and earn unlimited 3% cash back with the Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Ready, down, put. All Packers, all the time.
He was a field-tilting player, and the reason why Gabe and many others are so concerned is that this guy's on the field, he changes the offensive dynamic. They are a different offense when he is there.
Okay, most of the time.
You know, Homer calls Matt LaFleur soft all the time. Matt LaFleur is like Vince Lombardi compared to me.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Time to check in with our friend and teammate, Jason Wilde. Good morning, Jason. How are you doing on this fine Friday?
So it sounded like you might call me something else there. Our friend. Were you going to call me something else? Because I've been called a lot of things.
I was swallowing an apple. I was chomping on an apple during the break, and I found a little piece that just wanted to pop in and say hi. So it got in there, and then I was like, friend.
Pop in and say hi.
We got a lot of stuff I want to ask you about. One, so Mercedes Lewis was talking to Kay Adams. Did you see this interview? Did you catch their chit chat?
I did.
So him and Matt LaFleur are FaceTiming apparently. Anytime we talk about FaceTiming in the Green Bay Packers, my brain immediately is like, oh, well, they have service. That's wonderful. Mercedes Lewis, is that something that Packers fans should be interested in? Should Packers fans be interested in a reunion? Because, again, for those keeping score, he is 41 years old, and that would seem to fly in the face of the idea of, building a very young roster.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I mean, look, I love Mercedes. Like, he was awesome when he was here. He those types of guys, first of all, from a reporter standpoint, are just so valuable because they have such a wealth of knowledge. It's like the old tight end that they had back in the 90s. If you could ever get to his damn locker in the corner, you would be smarter when you talk to him. But look, as much as I would love to see him back in the locker room, they had a chance before he went to the Bears to keep him in their locker room. And Matt LaFleur, based on that conversation, but we knew this long before that conversation with Kay Adams, wanted him, but he's almost twice the age of the players that Goody wants, right? So, like, that's not what Goody wants in his locker room. And look, Matt LaFleur loves Mercedes Lewis. I mean, to the degree, and this is one of my favorite stories. I'm still trying to – can't remember who told me it, but I know I used it in a story, that LaFleur loves Mercedes Lewis so much that in, like, 2020 or 21, the assistant coaches for his birthday got him a Mercedes Lewis jersey as like a joke gift because he loves Mercedes so much, which I thought was a great joke by his staff. So, no, I mean, look, I would love to have him back. Matt LaFleur clearly would love to have him back. Matt LaFleur clearly would have loved for him to have never left, and I would agree. But unless Goody is going to give Matt LaFleur like his one roster mulligan, like he gave Aaron Rodgers, okay, fine. If it really is going to take this to get you to come back this year, I will trade for Randall Cobb. I don't see that happening.
Why doesn't he just make him a coach then, Jason?
They could do that. They could for sure do that. Now, I don't know. I think Mercedes sounded to me like he wants to play a little more, right? I mean, he's now surpassed Jason Witten and Tony Gonzalez for the longest tenured tight end in NFL history. But I think, he is so, I understand he's 41, but he is so remarkably diligent about staying in great shape, much like yourself, that I don't think from a physical standpoint there's any question he could keep playing.
So this is just a Mercedes Lewis thing, and I shouldn't look into this as LaFleur wants more veterans on the roster?
Well, both things can be true.
Okay.
Right? Look,
Well, because that was my initial takeaway. That yes, okay, you guys have a good relationship, and obviously Goody's not going to bring you back, so it's a moot point. But I also kind of walked away from that clip going, kind of seems like LaFleur would like another veteran or two on the roster.
Do you correct people when they say it's a mute point, or do you just let that pass?
Usually, I let Chewy just kind of keep cooking.
Always comes back to me, Jason.
It does indeed.
I guess it depends on how superior I want to feel in said relationship, Jason.
So you're telling Dario that all the time. So look, I would just say this. I think Matt LaFleur, if you really got him with a couple of beers on the table, would say that they could use a couple of veterans. I don't think he wants a team full of veterans, right? Like he had early in his tenure, certainly not at quarterback. But I don't think he's necessarily looking for that, because there's drawbacks to that too, right? They all are set in their ways and they want to do things a certain way, and they're not maybe always open to the way you want to coach them or new ideas that you want to do. So I don't think he wants a team full of veterans, but I would agree with your premise, Gabe, that he would like to have a few more. But I think this is more an isolated, very old player who LaFleur likes very, very much. I mean, I would love to know if Matt LaFleur, again, with beers on the table, would admit that Mercedes Lewis is his favorite player he's ever coached. Because I think he probably would be telling the truth if he actually said that.
Jason, yesterday our buddies in the afternoon, Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, put up a poll. I'm actually scrolling through just to see if I can find it. What would be better for the Packers this season? Jordan Love leading the NFL in passing yards, or Josh Jacobs leading the NFL in rushing yards?
Yeah, they asked me that question. And it led to a spirited discussion because Kyle definitely wants Jordan Love to be a top flight player. And look, I don't blame them for that. But first of all, if you lead the league in passing yards, there's a good chance that you've been playing from behind a good chunk of the game. Because let's not forget, and I thought this stat was fascinating, the Packers ran the football last year on 52% of their offensive plays.
Mm-hmm.
That is the most they have run the football, percentage-wise, since 2003, which, if you need perspective on how flippin' long ago that was, Mark Tauscher was a fourth-year player in the league. And that was the year that Amon Green set the franchise record for both rushing yards and touchdowns with 1,883 yards and 20 TDs. So the idea that, are you okay? Hey, are you okay? No, we're coughing up a hairball here, and then when a dog does that, that's not supposed to happen. Look, I don't think that would be. I don't think Jordan Love throwing for 5,000 yards would be as good of a thing for this team as Josh Jacobs leading the league in rushing, because I think that would mean they'd be leading in a lot of games, doing 4-minute offense to grind out the clock. It would mean their offensive line is really good. I know I've used this stat with you guys a bunch, but when we were talking to Josh Jacobs the other day, he finished he interrupted me, which, again, I don't blame him because my questions are long. But I was giving him that stat about Saquon Barkley and his 2005 rushing yards, and the fact that 1,328 of them came before contact. So you're talking 65% of his yards came before he'd even been touched. And Josh Jacobs ran for 1,329 yards total, and more than 700 of them were after contact. So the majority of his yards were after he'd been touched. And so another thing that would make me answer the question the way I did with KBN is that if this offensive line restructuring with big Aaron Banks and with Elton Jenkins, at least theoretically, once he gets his contract addressed, at center, and then being bigger, if that allows him to get more yards before he gets touched, like Saquon, there's a chance he could have a really, really big season if he stays healthy. So to me, this wasn't even a debate. So I'm curious if you guys found it debatable.
Chew?
Yeah, because it means that he's still going to be 12.
Is that Apple making another comeback?
That was a debatable. Chewy almost started a fight this morning on the production call regarding this.
I just think
really,
if he's the top, look, it's a quarterback-driven league. The quarterback is the most important player on the team. If he's the top yard getter in the NFL, that means he's a top 5 quarterback. You know.
So Tua's a top 5 quarterback?
But do you think he is?
No.
Okay,
is he a
then
top
what
5
are we
quarterback?
talking about here?
I'd rather have my quarterback be the best player on the field as opposed to a running back. That's all I'm saying.
You played with your knucklehead buddy.
He is a knucklehead. Jason, why is it so hard for LaFleur to admit that Jordan Love regressed? I mean, the numbers don't lie, Jason. Completion percentage. I mean, I get his touchdown interception ratio because he did miss 3 games, but
sure,
the completion percentage doesn't lie.
Yeah,
which is a very important stat.
It is, and look, in fairness, 33 drops was tied for the 3rd most in the league, so that affects your completion percentage. There's no doubt about it. But it's not like, let's be honest, it's not like they would have caught all 33 of them, right? Like,
yeah,
I think the stat was that the Eagles had fewer drops as a team than Wicks and Reed had individually. They had 7, Wicks had 9, and Reed had 10. So that's part of it. I thought it was really interesting. And look, I have no problem, although I was going to text McCarthy on this because when he would bust my chops, he was always really good at it. And I thought LaFleur busting my chops the other day, it kind of fell a little flat. Like, I don't mind, especially when it's, a player or a coach's, like maybe if it's a fellow beat writer, I'm a little less receptive to it. But like when I asked him about Love and what he needs to do for them, how much he needs to improve or be more productive, and he had that line. I don't know if you guys heard him say this about, well, maybe someone with someone who's a physical specimen like yourself. That was a dodge because he didn't want to answer the question, and then unfortunately for him. I was able to follow up and say, no, really, my athleticism notwithstanding, regardless of his health, how much more do you need him to give you if you want to get to where you want to go? And I then he went into the drops and he went into the it's not always the quarterback, and he went into the injuries that he dealt with. And look, I don't think Jordan Love needs you to prop him up. Mm-hmm. Now, I do think, Jordan Love, and I had walked away because I wanted to talk to Josh Jacobs, and he was walking into the room at the time. But someone asked him, Wednesday, about taking a step back. And I don't know if I've ever seen him get prickly, but he did not like that question at all, and he pushed back on it. And, we can have a semantics debate about, well, did he regress? Did he take a step back? Or did he just not take a step forward and that kind of thing? The bottom line is that whether the injuries were a factor, whether the drops were a factor, he was not as good. Like, think about what he was in the final 8 games of the 2023 season. Now, is it fair to expect him to be that guy for 17 games at this point in his development? Hell no. That heater that he was on, 70% completion percentage, 2,150 yards, 18 touchdowns, 1 pick, 112.7 passer rating in those last 8 games. And then he went to Dallas and had a perfect passer rating before LaFleur put him back in and Tucker Kraft dropped the ball because he was nervous that the Cowboys were going to come back. Like, he was that 9-game stretch. They were 7-2, and he was great. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. How many times did you watch him last year, Chew, and go, "Oh, he looks just like he did during that"? The Toyotathon thing last year was a myth.
Yeah, for the first couple of games, the Toyota-thon thing was, and then it kind of faded. But I guess the question now, Jason, is because maybe Jordan Love thinks he took a step forward last year. So then the question becomes, okay, whether you think whatever happened between year one, year two, do you have to be better in order for the team to get to where they want to go? And the answer to that question unequivocally from LaFleur, from Love, from Adam Stenovich, from whoever, the answer is going to be yes. He has to be better if they want to get to where they need to go.
Yeah, or maybe look. I have a theory on that. Tausch and I were talking about this yesterday because look, I think it's undeniable that he does. He has to do better. And if he's healthier, you could easily say, look, if he'd have been healthy, he would have been better. You can also say, the girls hear me use that growth is not linear line all the time because there are going to be setbacks, and how do you deal with them? And last year, there were setbacks. And by the way, I'm not saying the injuries didn't factor in his play, but he is following two guys. Like, Favre is obviously the king of this, but Rodgers was no slouch either. That managed to be really, really good quarterbacks even when they weren't fully healthy, right? Like, you obviously played with Favre when he was doing that. I mean, Rodgers throwing with a separated throwing shoulder. Rodgers playing down the stretch in 14 with a torn calf. Rodgers playing the 18th season with a fracture in his tibial plateau in his knee, coming back and leading a comeback in that opener when he left on a cart. Like, you have to, in the NFL, you're gonna have to play through stuff. And you could say that it affected him, but then you have to find a way to still be that guy, even if you're not 100%.
But, Jason, this is what bothers me, okay?
Uh-oh.
Because they're willing to say, oh, Zach Tom, he was hurt. Yeah. You know, he didn't have a great year, but he finished third in All-Pro voting. Well, you know who didn't even get a vote in All-Pro voting? Jordan Love. So why does he get a pass when it comes to being a little banged up, but now all of a sudden our right tackle, who thought was the future, has to compete?
Yeah, and Zach Tom had a torn pectoral muscle.
Correct.
He never had enough strength in that arm all season long. Like, because as you well know, you can't. Your training is majorly affected by that. So you're not going to have the strength all season long. You didn't lift from April until September. Like, these are all fair points. I would just leave it at this because I know you guys got to go. Jordan Love doesn't need your coddling, whether you're Matt LaFleur or Steno or a fan. Like, I get all these fans who say that I hate him, and it pisses me off to no end because you know who doesn't think he played well enough? He didn't like the phrasing of that question. There's no doubt about it. But you know who knows he has to play better? Jordan Love. He doesn't need you to make these excuses for him. And if he's healthy, he will play better. I am not in any way down on him or writing him off. It was year 2 as a starter. But I did say this to him. Year 3, the guy that came before him made a huge jump as a player, made a huge jump as a leader, and won a freaking Super Bowl. I'm not saying he has to do that this year, but we all agree he has to move much closer. If he's going to be the latest in this succession line, he's got to move a lot closer to what Rodgers did in year 3 than what he did himself in year 2.
Yeah, and Jason, I would make the argument that insulating him from that criticism is a beige flag. It's not a red flag, but it's a beige flag. Why does the organization, why does Matt LaFleur think he needs to protect him from the obvious? We all see it. We all see it. That, to me, is something that I think deserves, some digging as the season goes on if it continues. We do have to let you go. We got to get to Craig Karmazin, but that was really great stuff, and we appreciate you spending some time with us on this Friday morning.
Everybody take care. Be good.
That's Jason Wilde and Tausch right after Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, Monday through Friday here on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. We'll take a break. I wonder what Craig thinks about it. If he's one of those guys who feels like you need to insulate certain people from criticism, or if he's straight shooter, no, you need to be better. As a guy in a leadership position, I'm curious about his take on that. We'll get that right after this on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
The next best round of golf for you, it's going to happen at the Wisconsin Country Club. Do what I did. Become a member out at the Wisconsin Country Club. No assessments, no food and beverage minimums, and a beautiful course that's fun and challenging. It's my favorite part of being a member out there. That and the great practice facilities. But maybe you're looking for something more than just the golf. Well, of course, they've got tennis, pickleball courts, and a pool with themed Sunday fun days each and every week for the kiddos. Get started today. Visit thewisconsincountryclub.com for membership info. The Wisconsin Country Club, just a fairway away.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Slowing down on 41 southbound, starting at Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive, northbound slowing just before Mayfair Road all the way up to Capitol. We've got southbound 43 looking very smooth right now. Maybe a quick tap of the brakes just south of Silver Spring. Northbound backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up past Keefe. Traffic is brought to you by Racine Danish Kringles. Order Dad Kringle for Father's Day at Kringle.com. Have it shipped right to Dad. Kringle.com. Racine Danish Kringles, not just a treat, it's a tradition. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny skies, breezy, hazy, scattered afternoon showers or storms possible with a high of 75. Tonight, showers early, then partly cloudy, a low of 50. Weather's brought to you by Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more. Easy and affordable apparel personalization with no minimums and fast turnaround. For all your printing needs, bigfrog.com/Mequon. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
At Potawatomi, where ways to win are endless, another chance to capture epic cash and prizes comes Friday, June 27th. It's the season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from enchanted spins, unreal treasures, and boundless bounty come together for drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is there for the taking. Be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
A Progressive Home and Auto Bundle can protect you round the clock, but we can't protect you from those painful moments in sports.
Why would we trade our best player?
Well, at least you got to watch him in person when he was here.
I named my only son after him.
So you'll always remember his name.
Yeah, but what do I do with this jersey?
Luckily, the company has a great return policy.
I wore it for 6 seasons.
Well, at least your home and auto are protected with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Relief from hip and back pain can be a reality when you work with the experts on a mobility and flexibility routine. That's why StretchLab was founded. Pro athletes and sports fans alike love StretchLab for our customized one-on-one assisted stretch sessions. Discover the difference a good stretch can make, because when your body moves better, you feel better and live better. Visit your local StretchLab today or go to stretchlab.com and use code FAN10 to get up to 50% off your first 50-minute stretch. Plus, receive an additional $10 off.
Awarded Best of Weddings 2023 by The Knot, The Bog is much more than world-class golf. Our clubhouse ballroom offers floor-to-ceiling windows and a breathtaking full-wall fireplace. Our barn venue was inspired by the on-site barn at Hole 6, built in the 1800s. 2 outdoor ceremony sites and a variety of personalized options. Our venues are perfect for family get-togethers, weddings, showers, graduation parties, or any event you are hosting. Call The Bog at 262-292-0740 or visit thebarnofthebog.com.
Are you dreaming about summer in your backyard yet? Landworks handles projects of all sizes. From a cozy pocket patio lush with greenery to a grand outdoor hosting space and everything in between. Locally owned and operated, Landworks prides themselves on exceptional customer service and a personal approach to all of your landscaping needs. The Landworks team of experts will work closely with you, making your property shine all year. Experience the Landworks difference. Visit landworkswisconsin.com. That's landworkswisconsin.com.
It's Friday, and that means it's time to check in with GKB President Craig Karmazin.
Gabe, you're right. I actually just looked at the stats. No hypocrite has ever won a championship.
Fridays with Mo.
Mark Attanasio, the last thing he wanted to do was play a video and tribute Craig Counsell in any way. So I give Mark Attanasio a ton of credit.
Craig Karmazin on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy is sponsored by Landworks Landscape Services. Their creative and talented team will design, build, enhance, and maintain beautiful landscapes in southeastern Wisconsin. Learn more and see their work at landworkswisconsin.com.
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday.
some of that conversation with Jason Wilde while we continue efforting our guy, Craig Karmazin. Chew, is it at all a beige flag for you? The vernacular is like red flag is like walk away. This is a warning of a bad situation. Beige flag is like, might be a problem, but it's not a problem yet, but it's something I'm aware of. Is it a beige flag for you that the organization and Matt LaFleur continue to try to protect Jordan Love from deserved criticism? We all agree that Jordan Love needs to be better. We've said it, and Matt LaFleur seems to be making explanations for maybe why Jordan didn't have as good of a season. What do you think?
Is beige light tan?
Yeah.
Okay, I would go more of like tides, where red is stay out of the water. I believe yellow is caution, but it's safe. I just don't like the inconsistency where you shoot down Zach Tom, where he tears a pec, which, like Jason said, is very important to offensive linemen because they're all dealing with upper body strength, and the weight room is extremely important to him, where they're willing to say, well, he's got to compete now, while they just try to say, oh, Jordan's fine, he had injuries. It's just these are things players have in their head, and they're like, okay, this is BS, right? So, yes, I agree with you, Jen. What do you think, Craig?
Craig's not here.
But Gabe would be happy to answer that question. Gabe, what do you think?
Well, then why did he play Craig's Open?
Well, just in case he picked up the phone while the Open was going on.
Oh.
You know, kind of the same way I would hit the Open when I produced your show back in the days, just hoping that somebody would eventually walk through the door.
See, so basically you're saying I should have known when Jen asked the question to me?
I mean, if you're looking for an out, you should say that Joshy should have gotten your ear and told you that Craig wasn't there.
It's me and Josh here fighting right now. But I thought Jen was just trying to reinforce her point by asking me first, and then we bring it to Craig. That's what I thought. Okay? Mm-hmm. So, Gabe, you can answer it the way Craig would.
I don't know how Craig would answer that, because I think Craig's more of a straight shooter, at least in most of the interactions I've had with him. Craig's always going to be a straight shooter. This is weird to me because the Packers haven't felt the need to really protect anyone that I can think of recently. So to get lost in the semantics of, oh, well, I mean, he was injured last year. Why did he take a step forward? Okay, again, let's leave the step forward thing behind. Let's just forget about all that. Does your quarterback need to be better in order for you to accomplish the goals that this team wants to do? If you want to make a Super Bowl, if you want to win a Super Bowl, does Jordan Love need to be better than he has been? Like, that's the next question that I think needs to be asked of Jordan and of LaFleur.
Well, and I think Jason has told us over and over again that there is a mural on the wall that says standards over feelings. To me, this is a perfect example of standards over feelings. What is your standard for your quarterback, Matt LaFleur? And are you somehow manipulating that standard to the public to preserve your players' feelings? Because I agree with Jason Wilde. If you're the starting quarterback of an NFL franchise, you don't need your feelings to be protected. You've already gone through the gauntlet. You've already shown your resiliency. Is there something about Jordan Love that Matt LaFleur is interpreting as he can't handle us saying publicly he needs to be better? Because to me, that sort of transparency, I would put it in the win column. Like, if you can handle your boss saying to the public, yeah, we know Jordan needs to be better. He knows he needs to be better. We'd like him to improve his footwork. We'd like him to improve his consistency and his accuracy downfield, or whatever the list that they currently have is. I don't see a problem with that. In fact, I would say, the only reason Matt LaFleur is doing that is because he knows his guy can handle it. And when he doesn't do it, then my brain goes, well, why? What is he trying to protect? Why are you trying to pull the wool over his eyes? It's the old pee on my leg and tell me it's raining thing. So that is where I get a little again, beige flag. Or to use Chewy's example, don't go in the water.
But there are, and I have played with players that were so sensitive that you couldn't, like LaFleur did. You can't say anything critical about them. You just diminish their playing time. But like you said, I mean, Jordan's got big shoulders. He can handle it.
Well, because
you know what? I was a little surprised, though, that he got so upset by the question. What did Jason call it? Frazzled?
He did. I mean, he got a little defensive, I would say, when Jordan was asked about, not taking a step forward in year 2 or regressing, however the question was phrased. He got a little, because that's when he goes, well, we won more games last year. I'd say that was taking a step in the right direction.
But you can't just pick and choose your metric, man. Like, I understand that wins and losses are important, and you went from a 9-8 record to an 11-6 record, right? But you want to talk about the division record? You want to do that? Like, if we're going to sit here and that's your metric? Well, my metric happens to be the division record. How did that go for you?
Or where you finished in the conference. You finished in the exact same spot. You were the 7th seed for the second straight year.
And then with the drops, okay? So take a team with the 10 least drops in the league and then subtract that from – that's not going to move the dial when you're talking about 70% or 69% down to – what was it, Gabe? 63? His percentage completion?
Yeah.
Come on, what's it going to move it? 1 percentage point? I mean, the numbers do not lie. And I don't want to beat up on the guy, but my thing is like this. Hold him accountable because we have seen it with our own eyes.
You know who had a 70%?
We have seen how you can play. We need you to play like that.
You know who had a 70% completion percentage and his team had 30 drops?
Who?
Joe Burrow. Team dropped 30 passes, just 3 less than the Packers. He was still up at 70%.
Yeah. So, I mean, he can take it. It's the fairness that players in the locker room don't like.
Well,
and they all understand that quarterbacks get treated differently. But I'm telling you, Zach Tom and his buddies is like, you know what? That's total BS. How he's covering for him and then kicking me under the bus. Because I was injured too, and I didn't have my best year. It's just, I don't like that.
It makes me wonder, again, as you continue to bring that stuff up, Chew. Okay, they were giving Jordan a pass, but now they're making your right tackle fight for his job. It does make me wonder if they are indeed going to offer anything to Zach Tom, or if they've decided, hey, we're going to spend our money elsewhere. If they're going to kind of take your approach of, because Ron Wolf didn't really pay his offensive linemen, right?
No,
so
correct.
Maybe they've decided, hey, we've been good enough at drafting offensive linemen. We can have good enough offensive lines that are young. We can then invest our money elsewhere.
And I'm sure Zach Tom, if you went up to him and you just said, I don't think we're going to be able to afford you. Instead of, come on, the guy's a really good player. Would you agree?
Yep.
He's a really good player. I just don't like the double standard. That would drive me nuts.
And again, as our resident player, former player, I think sometimes you speak for the locker room and you see things that maybe we might not see that can affect the dynamic of that locker room. So it's a great point by you. Finding money in your house can be easier than you think because at Great Midwest Bank, they have a simple approach to turning your home's value into cash with their locally serviced home equity loans. And since they take the time to really get to know you, your loan or your line of credit is a fast, easy way to pay for whatever it is you want. Maybe you want a boat. Maybe you need new appliances. Maybe you've been thinking about building a pool, or maybe you need a new furnace. Whatever it is, there is cash in your home, and it's just a few clicks away. Great Midwest Bank, where you can experience your state of banquility.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Tailgate season, company victory party, don't let your event fall short. V Private Bar Services delivers the winning play with expertise. We're talking custom cocktails, top shelf service, and an atmosphere that'll have your team pumped. Forget the watered down beer and basic mixers. Get the VIP treatment for your corporate events with bartenders who know the perfect pour. V Private Bar Services, where elevated hospitality runs through our veins. Explore vprivatebar.com and leave the mixing to us.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Buying and selling a home can be a stressful process. Hey, it's Jen Latta from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. The We Sell group at Keller Williams has a goal of making it stress-free for everyone. Their passion is people, their availability is unmatched, something I'm experiencing firsthand while I search for a lake home to enjoy Wisconsin summers even more. Rob and Nick are there every step of the way, not just for their sellers, but also to potential buyers and their agents to bring in as many strong offers as possible. Get started today at wesell.kw.com. That's wesell.kw.com.
This just in, the NFL schedule has dropped, and you know what that means. It's go time. Adam Schefter here with the Insider Tip. If you're trying to catch your team live this season, Vivid Seats is the move. For the best selection of games and seats, it's time to snap your tickets up now. Vivid Seats has great deals on great seats and the only rewards program in the game. It's no wonder they're the official ticketing partner of ESPN. So don't wait. Head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in those game days.
Brought to you by the Capital One Saver Card. With Saver, you earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining, entertainment, and at grocery stores. That's unlimited cash back on ordering takeout from home or unlimited cash back on tickets to concerts and games. So grab a bite, grab a seat, and earn unlimited 3% cash back with the Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Now is the perfect time to start on your next success. An accredited state university, University of Maryland Global Campus offers online and hybrid courses. Plus, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. No application fee if you apply by May 30th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Tickets now.
Look, they got a dog.
Oh. To the movie event of the summer.
You sure that's it, though? Yeah.
Rough. This Memorial Day, the summer starts with Stitch.
Adorable little psychopath.
Disney's Lilo and Stitch, rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. Now playing only in theaters.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. Go behind the scenes of the Emmy-nominated Giannis documentary. Get the real story of the blockbuster trade for Damian Lillard. Hear the origin of Bucks in 6. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Do you like your pickles warm or cold?
Want my pickle a little warm.
Warm's good.
It's better than cold.
Cold
You
can
got
be good,
shrinkage.
too.
Yeah, well, no,
Cold
shrinkage
can
gets
be good.
involved. It's not great.
On 94.5 ESPN.
From the court to the classroom and the community, the Champions for Literacy celebration with Dwayne Wade and Travis Diener will be an evening you don't want to miss. Join Wade and Diener on June 27th at the Garage at the Harley-Davidson Museum and make an impact by raising funds for literacy. Get tickets and full event information right now at wadeversusdiener.givesmart.com. That's wadeversusdiener.givesmart.com. We're going to get to this windy sound. Brian Windhorst talking about a team that he thinks could be in the mix for Giannis Antetokounmpo in the second hour of the show. Stick around for that. But I do think that we did not talk enough about the KBN poll, which prompted the conversation from Jason Wilde, which Chewy vehemently disagreed with the outcome. So KBN was asking people yesterday, would you rather have Jordan Love lead the league in passing or Josh Jacobs lead the league in rushing? And Chew, you feel very strongly that you want your quarterback to lead the league in passing because it's a passing league. Why else would that distinction equal success for Green Bay?
I mean, I get the whole rushing thing. You're up, you're this, that. But like I said earlier, I want my quarterback to be the best player on the field. And I think, if he throws the most yards In the NFL, that would mean that he is. I think you're going to get much closer to a championship with a great quarterback as opposed to a great running back. Now, sure, the Eagles led the league last year, but they still have tons of talent. And the Packers don't.
Okay? All right.
I mean,
that's fine, Chew. So last year the league MVP was Josh Allen. They made it to an AFC championship game. They were really close to winning that game, nip and tuck all the way with the Kansas City Chiefs. Where did Josh Allen finish in passing yards last year?
Probably top 3.
14th.
But once again, Gabe, what's the big question mark with the Bills? Their receiving core.
Yeah. How many weapons do they have? But they still made it. Like, again, he was 14th, Chew. They made it to an NFC championship game. A lot of that is because, yes, he does run the football, and he's very effective at doing that. But they ran the football pretty effectively themselves with the running back core that they had. Like, they still had, James Cook finish over 1,000 yards last year.
What did he have? Give me his stats, though, Gabe.
James Cook?
No, Josh Allen.
So Josh Allen last year was 63.6 completion percentage, 3,731 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions.
And then how many rushing yards did he have?
His rushing totals last year, hold on.
I mean, it's got to be pretty. I'm
Yeah,
guessing
531 rushing yards last year, 12 touchdowns.
No, I'm just, all I'm saying is I want my quarterback to be the best player on the field, because then you got a shot.
I don't think they're mutually exclusive, though, are they? Can't your quarterback be the best player on the field with an incredibly dominant rushing attack?
Is Lamar Jackson the best player on the field for Baltimore?
Yes.
I mean, Derrick Henry had 1,900 yards rushing. And any other year, that would have led the league in rushing outside of, Saquon Barkley had the historic year that he had.
All right, let me ask you this, Gabe. Can they survive without Derrick Henry? Better chance? Or they have a better chance surviving with Lamar Jackson?
Obviously, it's Lamar.
Of course.
Yeah, but again, Lamar didn't lead the league in passing yards.
The Packers wouldn't succeed either without Jordan
Would
Love.
you rather have Josh Jacobs go down for the season or Jordan Love?
Josh Jacobs.
There you go. I want him to be the best player on the field.
I think so the league goes in kind of waves how things go. Passing was how for the most recent history, but the last 2 years there's been a discernible shift. Teams are running in neutral situations more than ever. Teams are running the ball again. Once again, it will go back at some point and be high flying. Sure. But right now, if you consider that fact and how teams are so focused on rushing because they think it's an advantage, they think the way they're being played on defense with that too high safety stuff.
Oh yeah, and nickel is now base.
So running the ball in the current day and age is sort of winning football, as told by the teams at the top there. It's also Matt LaFleur's offense. If he's running the offense he wants to, they're running the ball a lot. And it's not Jordan Love making all these big gaudy plays. Sure, they have the play action off of it. But it is, without a doubt, Josh Jacobs being the leading rusher is going to be the highest success for
But let me ask you a question, Joshy. Is there any part of you that thinks that Josh Jacobs had the season he had last year in part because Jordan Love was injured and has not reached that level that we saw at the end of 2023? Like, I think if Matt LaFleur looked around and went, my quarterback doesn't have it, at least not to the level we need him to have it, that maybe contributed to the shifting to 52% running the ball.
I think there's an aspect to it, but I still think they would, because when you look at those teams that used to have so many passing yards and be dominant, they were passing the ball. Their passing rate was very high. Very high.
Think Tom Brady at the end of his career.
Right. That style of offense is just not currently how things are. I mean, look at the Kansas City Chiefs. The running back wasn't even a factor there. But now they're handing the ball to Kareem Hunt in the damn Super Bowl. Like, it's just shifted. It will go back. I think it will snap back once teams adjust.
Always does. Yeah. But defense has a role in this as well. Who's got a better defense, Philly or Green Bay? Last year.
Philadelphia.
Philly.
Remarkably so, right? The problem in the 5 games against quality teams that they lost is they were behind by a ton. correct? Minnesota, weren't they down 28-0?
And the first time around, yes.
I think you're making our point.
Well, I'm just saying it's all fine and dandy against crap, but when you're playing against a team with a good D and they're shutting down or whatever, they're ahead of you, you can't run the ball. They had to abandon the run. That's why I want my quarterback to be number one.
I think the point.
Just made our point.
Yeah,
though.
the point is you need to be well balanced in 2025 NFL.
Yeah, I
like
think.
you could get away
the
with
question
Tom Brady.
was about extremes. The
Yes.
question was about either or. I think we all are smart enough to recognize that a balance of the two, right? Top 5 here, top 5 there. You know, Josh Jacobs last year was 6th in rushing yards in the league, right? If he can maintain that ranking, the numbers might shift a little bit depending, but if he can maintain that ranking and Jordan can crank up his ranking, then it feels like a recipe for success, right? I think this is a really good exercise, though, of like, if you had to choose Hamilton, running the ball right now, to Joshy's point, feels like the way that teams are winning. Not everybody, but you look at Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, Jahmyr Gibbs, even Bijan Robinson is in that list as well. And I know that Atlanta didn't have the season that Chewy thought they were going to have.
Yeah, but this year.
Don't sleep on him.
This year. Chewy's, he's just ahead of his time.
I think if you have the luxury to run that much and get that many yards, that also means your defense is incredibly good too, because you're playing from ahead all the time.
I mean, do they have more elite games this year than they did last year?
What does that even mean, elite games?
Opponents.
Tough opponents?
Yeah.
Opponents.
Tough
yeah.
opponents. Seems like you guys knew what he was talking about.
Elite games? Do they have more elite games this year than last year? Love it. We got to take a break. We're way behind in a shocking development. We'll be right back after this.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Delays along southbound 43 coming in from just past Brown Deer Road all the way down to just before Silver Spring, where there is a broken down vehicle. Now, there is construction through there already bringing things down to 2 lanes, so it is a bit of a bottleneck there. Southbound 41 heavy from Appleton Avenue to all the way down past Capitol. On the northbound side, slowing from just past Watertown Plank Road all the way up to Silver Spring. Traffic is brought to you by Third Ward Beer Garden. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden. Open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, mostly sunny, breezy, hazy with scattered afternoon showers or storms, a high of 75. Tonight, showers early, then partly cloudy, a low of 50. Weather's brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
BetterHelp recently surveyed more than 16,000 people and found that while 75% of people believe it is wise to seek support, only 27% of Americans are actually in therapy, and people stay silent to avoid being judged. BetterHelp has more than 10 years of experience matching you with the right therapist. We are all better with help. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout for 10% off your first month of therapy today. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout.
Thinking about buying or building a new home? Start with a mortgage pre-approval from Great Midwest Bank and experience a state of tranquility. At Great Midwest Bank, we offer fast approvals and flexible options with experienced loan officers who understand the local market, because they live here too. Whether you're breaking ground for new construction or buying that dream home just around the corner, we'll guide you every step of the way. Bank with confidence and start your journey at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Bruston Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Can't put the toothpaste back in the genie or the...
Yeah, that's it. That's the saying.
Business is a dog-eat-dog world, and I am a shark who eats doggy dogs.
No, you came out and blurted it. There was no, hey, Chew, you can't say a word, or you can say a word. It was just like vomit, and you're like trying to put the vomit back in the gut.
I am going to pull it down underwater and drown it.
I think vomit in the gut is better.
I am going to be one of those insane sharks who jumps up on the pier and grabs the doggy dog and pulls it back on the way down.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but running his mouth.
Another day, another proposed destination for one Giannis Antetokounmpo that is not Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Brian Windhorst yesterday throwing the Boston Celtics into the mix, saying that he thinks they could be a team that try to acquire Giannis. Take a listen to Windy on Get Up yesterday.
What are the teams we should have an eye on in the Eastern Conference if that is part of his thinking?
Well, again, I think you have to look at the teams that could make a trade for Giannis that the Bucks would accept, and on the other side of the trade would have a contending team. So
see, I don't know if there are any teams in the East like that.
I agree.
Boston would be on the list. Yeah. Boston may be the only one, but then on the other side of it.
Go ahead, Wendy.
I think New York would be on that list. There's some difficulties when you talk about aprons and second apron teams trying to make trades, and that's a reality. But there are some teams on the Eastern Conference you could construct an ability to get this done.
Well, I was under the impression that there were only a few teams in the league, maybe 2 teams in the league, that could put together a package and trade straight up for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Sounds like this is something that would be a little more complicated. Gabe has been crunching the numbers. Gabe, you jumped on the old internet and you were trying to put a package together. How successful have you been?
Not successful at all, actually. Not successful at all. Went on Spotrac's trade machine. And the problem becomes for the Boston Celtics, we've talked about it before, second apron. You don't necessarily need to know what that means, but it just limits you and what you can do. You can't aggregate players. You can't put together, these 2 players, they make the same amount here. We'll give you these 2 players for that player. Can't do that at that point. So the only player that the Celtics could trade for, straight up, for Giannis Antetokounmpo is Jason Tatum, which they're not going to do because presumably they would want Tatum and Giannis together. The Bucks aren't going to do that because I don't think they want 2 players making the type of money that Tatum and Dame would be making, both with Achilles injuries next year. So it ends up being very complicated, and you would probably need 3 or 4, 5 teams to somehow make this work for the Boston Celtics, because that's the other thing. Okay, the Celtics, can they put together an attractive player package? Maybe, if Jaylen Brown's involved, if some of the younger guys they have are involved. They don't really have any picks other than their own, which are going to be back-end first-round picks. So then they're going to have to give up more players in order to get the Bucks some attractive picks in return for Giannis. It becomes really complicated really fast, and I don't see how the Celtics are a realistic option for Giannis.
How do you see draft picks figuring in, though, Gabe? Heavy or not heavy at all?
Heavy.
Heavy?
It's going to be a mixture.
So you think it'd be one stud, and then a bunch of draft picks?
Yeah, probably something like that. Mm-hmm. Or a couple younger players that have high upside.
So
like
if it
Houston
was,
has some of those guys.
Gabe, if it's Dallas, how would that work?
The Mavericks?
You would give up. Yes, you would give up. Who was the number 1 pick?
Because they just won. So Cooper Flag.
So you get Cooper Flag and 4 number 1s.
Yeah, you probably need a little bit more than that because now you need to match salary. Because now you can't just trade for Giannis and take on a salary. You have to get close to matching that, so you're going to have to take some players back in return.
Okay. Wow, that's NBA is very complicated.
Yeah, the sad part is, Chew, like they used to dominate with their offseason, player movement, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like they've made it only more complicated to try to follow the economic model that they've gone with.
Is that because they want to keep superstars on their teams?
I don't know. Trying to stop the creation of super teams is certainly a part of this because it makes it harder to have like 3 studs under the current model and field a competitive roster.
All right, let me ask you this. Could the Lakers do it? You trade Luka for Giannis, maybe with another good player and some draft picks?
I can't imagine after everything they've been through that all of a sudden they're going to deal Luka.
But would you take Luka? Would you take
Hell yeah.
Luka? Because he's young.
Yeah, he's younger than Giannis. Hell yeah, I'd take Luka. Hell yeah, I'd take Luka. But then that becomes the problem because they're not going to want to give up Luka. They would want to pair him with LeBron and Luka. But the Lakers are also a second apron team, and you can't aggregate those salaries.
Okay. Wow.
Again, just philosophically, it is fascinating to me how many twists and turns and knots people will tie themselves into, and I don't mean this specifically about Windy, just generally speaking, in order to try to get Giannis out of Milwaukee. When Giannis hasn't even said that he wants to leave Milwaukee, right? Like we have talked about doing due diligence and going through the pros and cons and whatever the process is that Giannis is going through. But this to me is an example, again, guys, of Gabe, you just tried to crunch the numbers. You put it into the old calculator, the salary calculator, the trade calculator. What is it called? The site?
Trade machine.
Trade machine. There you go. That's way better than what I was trying to figure out there. The trade machine. And it's nearly impossible without also involving several other teams that would also have to contribute assets. So why in the world are people so insistent about creating unrealistic options, unrealistic trades, unrealistic interested parties to get Giannis out of Milwaukee? What the hell is that?
I mean, the big part of it, I would say, Giannis is a top 3 player in the league. We've seen guys on the move before, but usually it's via free agency, like LeBron choosing to leave. Like a player like this in his prime, like it becomes exciting for the rest of the league to think about, oh man, Giannis is actually available and he has to ask out. Hasn't asked out yet. But until he also, in their minds, says, hey, I'm staying here, the possibility of him leaving exists, and it becomes, again, just the biggest NBA fantasy for everyone.
Just,
I don't know why they do it for Giannis and why they don't do it for Nikola Jokic, because the Nuggets have had their struggles the last couple of years as well.
I just don't see it happening. The more you look at it, it's like
it's tough.
Why would you do it? Because the team you're going to go to is going to deplete, its players. So, the more you think about it, it's like, all right, so you got to kind of, like Jen, you said, a gap year. Next year's a gap year. I don't think it would be smart to leave.
Let's just play out the hypothetical for 1 second, though. If Giannis did request a trade, and he did get traded to the Boston Celtics, I feel like even as much as people love Giannis Antetokounmpo, there would be some feelings.
Be a tough one.
There would be some thoughts, right? There would be some discomfort.
But again, the tough part is there because the Bucks aren't going to do Giannis a favor. They're going to do whatever's best for them. I can't imagine a world where the Celtics have the best offer coming back to Milwaukee. I just can't imagine that. I can't imagine the Celtics, given the current restrictions that they have, even if they get other teams involved, like the Pelicans, and the Bucks get some of their own picks back. I can't imagine the Celtics have the best offer that's
and maybe this is overly simplistic, and I know we talk about this all the time when it comes to trades. I even think about Brett Favre in 2008 when the Packers were like, we're not trading you anywhere near the Green Bay Packers. You're going to the AFC. Is it as simple as that as well? Wouldn't the Bucks do everything they could to make sure that if they did trade Giannis, if he did ask out and they wanted to get something back for him, they sent him to the West?
I think when you're trading someone like Giannis, for Brett it was different because you weren't selling him to the highest bidder because you weren't getting, what'd they get? The Packers got a conditional third that they ended up getting second. I can't remember what it was all the way back then. For a player like Giannis, it's to the highest bidder. Whether that's in the West, whether that's in the East, it's, all right, who's gonna give us the most? And that's what you do for a player like Giannis.
We'll put it on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Infinity Exteriors poll, 800-990-3776 if you want to weigh in. Brian Windhorst says that the Boston Celtics could be a team that try to acquire Giannis this offseason. You buying it? Let us know. 800-990-3776. Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, you can enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. It's conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. It's got deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, artist in residence, and nightly live music. You'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate, so learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com. That's stkatearts.com. We can reach you coming up.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Backups along southbound 43, starting around Good Hope Road, all the way down past Hampton, and then back on the brakes from Capitol Drive down to Locust. Northbound slowing from North Avenue all the way up to Keefe. Southbound on 41, slowing down just south of Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. Traffic is brought to you by Racine Danish Kringles. Order Dad Kringle for Father's Day at Kringle.com. Have it shipped right to Dad. Kringle.com. Racine Danish Kringles, not just a treat, it's a tradition. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, mostly sunny, breezy, hazy, scattered afternoon showers or storms, a high of 75. Tonight, showers early, then partly cloudy, a low of 50. Weather is brought to you by Tsunami Express Car Wash. Visit any of their 6 locations in the Milwaukee market today. Try out your first wash free when you sign up online at tsunamiexpress.com. Wash, chill, repeat. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
Turn your driveway into the basketball court of your dreams with Precision Sports, Southeastern Wisconsin's dealer for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator hoop systems. From installation to customizable painted court lines, Precision Sports is a slam dunk. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but no treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
BetterHelp recently surveyed more than 16,000 people and found that while 75% of people believe it is wise to seek support, only 27% of Americans are actually in therapy, and people stay silent to avoid being judged. BetterHelp has more than 10 years of experience matching you with the right therapist. We are all better with help. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout for 10% off your first month of therapy today. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout.
Make plans to stop by Third Ward Beer Garden at Catalano Square. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden, the perfect spot to meet up with friends in the Third Ward. Open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Big hurt. I heard that's like, eh.
Ron in the Key Wagon saying, you guys should slow down before you take out a sponsor.
Here I am.
On 94.5 ESPN.
It doesn't matter what age you are. Low testosterone can be an issue with any guy. That's where Mentality comes in to help with low testosterone. Local healthcare facility specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best. And they want to make sure that your testosterone levels are where they need to be. So what does that mean? Tired, groggy, just don't feel like yourself. Those are all signs of low testosterone. And it's easy to find out if that's what you're dealing with. Go to lowtusa.com, book an appointment, go through the process, get a blood panel done. Within a week, your results are back to you. And if your testosterone levels are low, Mentality can come up with a customized testosterone treatment plan just for you. It's what they've done for me. It's why I've got all the energy to run all around and do all the different shows that I do here on ESPN Milwaukee. They can help you as well. Go to lowtusa.com. Mentality allows treatment to fit into every guy's lifestyle. Find out more about Mentality and their low testosterone treatments, lowtusa.com.
Think you know the show better than the average ESPN Milwaukee fan? Now's your chance to prove it. It's time to play The Week in Rechew.
Are we ready, gang?
Yes.
All right, you feeling good, Chew?
No.
Got 5 questions of things you've said throughout the course of the week, and now we quiz you on them to see how well you remember them. We've got 5 questions. You get 3 right, you win. You get 3 wrong, you lose. Question number 1, Joshy.
Yeah.
Let's cut the crap here. He's not doing it out of the goodness of his heart.
What are you saying? I'm trying to get something?
Yes, exactly.
Look at you picking up what Josh is putting down.
What did you do to try and, I quote, get something?
What did I do? Was that Tuesday? Tuesday I was angry because it felt like a Monday. Tried to do. What would I do? I mean, it's. I have no idea.
Yeah, this was a tough question.
Was this
because,
tough?
Well, this was a layered question because it's not something that you did recently. It's something you did a while ago and came back up on the show. And we were discussing you texting your wife, again, I quote,
Oh, she's got a nice one.
I love your ass.
Yeah. Which you should say to your wife at least once a month.
Again, it was when you accidentally texted it to your son.
Went to Nolan, yeah.
Yeah, that's
They
where
get
things
it
got
by
off the
now,
rail. I
though.
mean, do they?
Yeah.
Do they?
They have no choice. Put it that way.
It's okay.
I think
that's fair. That's actually fair.
They'll get it. They'd choose not to.
Yes. Yes.
All right, 0 for 1. Question number 2, Joshy.
Oh, that's right. You're from HorrorCon.
Yeah. Who do I know? What did you claim that everyone had access to except people from HorrorCon?
A shovel.
Is that a wait? Time out. Is that a code word?
Yes, that's code for taking care of things. And Gabe, you are such a liar. That marsh is so big. I mean, are you kidding me? Come on.
As far as I know, nobody's disappeared in that marsh mysteriously.
Oh, you are insane. So we had can we go this direction?
I wouldn't.
Yeah, it's public knowledge. What if it's public knowledge?
There's a lot of things that are public knowledge that we stay away from on this show.
This is hard for me to predict what I'm supposed to say here.
I mean, apparently he knows a story of somebody being buried somewhere.
Not buried, floating in the lake with no hands, no feet, and no head. And they're like, oh, that's the first thing fish eat. Was I born yesterday? I mean, really? Come on, what are we doing here? Huh?
All right, we're 1 for 2. Pivotal question number 3 for Chew.
Speaking of pivoting.
What about bringing your own bat to the batting cages?
What did Jen witness this past weekend, which led you to ask
putter.
that
The putter.
question?
The putter. The putter.
Where was
I
the
agree.
putter?
Mini golfing. Right?
Bringing your own putter to mini golf, yes.
I think that's
I will put
toady.
the answer together for you. You said all the words, just not in order.
No, I think that's toady. I mean, it's okay to bring your own clubs to Top Golf. That's fine. But if you're... Gabe, when you go mini golfing, do you bring your own putter?
No.
Yeah, so in Gabe's...
No.
Gabe would
Again,
know.
the only thing I would think about, depending upon the place, like, again, little wedge, pop it over some of those corners. Just get a little closer to the hole. I mean, the hole's right there. Why do I have to hit it over here to wrap it around when I can just hit a little chip shot?
Yeah, but you're not putting spin.
Yeah, it's got to open up a little bit. It's got to be a nippy wedge, Josh. You got to pick it just right.
But you're not putting spin on those balls. Those things
No,
are
you're not.
rocks.
No, it is
Those things are rocks. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Not a balada.
All right, 2 questions left. Just have to get one of them right to win. Question number 4.
Because you're too slow, right? What do you need? I know where it's at.
Who is too slow?
Mentally?
I would listen to it again if I were you, Chew.
All right, one more time. Because you're too slow, right? What do you need? I know where it's at. That's hard. I mean, you got to eliminate Gabe because he's not slow. I mean, he's not as fast as he used to be.
is?
Joshy blew out his calf playing wiffle ball.
So fast.
Jen?
You're getting further away from the answer, though. Well, comedic.
Slow. I mean, if it's mentally, it's me. I'm willing to say that.
The answer for this question is in the last two lines.
Because you're too slow, right? What do you need? I know where it's at. I have no idea.
Gosh darn it, I thought he'd get it.
This is your wife while grocery shopping.
Oh, hideous. Hideous. I talked about it yesterday because I had to drop her other son off, and it's just like, and he agreed. It's just like, because I was in there literally for 12 minutes. I'm saying, if your mother was here, you're looking at another 20 minutes.
But that last part where you said, "What do you need? I know where it is," was the hint that you were at the grocery store.
Yeah, I choked. Where am I at? 2-2?
2-2.
All right.
This question determines if you win or lose this week. Joshy, take it away.
Here we go. That means they're going to win it all. Oh, opposite Gabe. Got to be opposite Gabe.
What team did I say was going to win it all that made you want to pick the other side?
OKC.
Hey!
Yep.
Opposite Gabe.
That's why the Giannis thing scares me. Scares me to death.
But you've come
Gabe
around.
has been.
But you've come
Gabe
around to the logic behind it.
Gabe has been on an incredible run of being wrong when it comes to the NBA. Gabe, admit it. Don't go LaFleur on me here. Don't go LaFleur. Last year you said, "Oh, they're going to beat them in 5, Indiana." This year you're like, "Oh, they're still much better." You've been on a little cold streak there, bucko. It's okay, Gabe.
What do
It's
you want me to do about
okay.
Injuries, Chew. Like I can't control injuries.
Here we go. There it is. Matt LaFleur.
Yeah.
Guys get
It's
hurt.
okay.
That's not on me. I'm not the trainer. Just a fan of the team.
Did Chewy win or lose?
He won.
He did.
Yeah.
He got
3 out of the 5.
Good job.
I feel good.
And we got back on the clock, which is wild. Crazy. Maybe Joshy knew what he was doing after all, huh?
I know a thing or two.
Josh, you got friends this weekend or what?
Just the thing or two, huh?
Josh, what are you nothing? You just want to hang out by yourself?
I got some
and
golf
your dog?
on Sunday. Other than that, I don't think so.
I thought you can't golf.
What?
Why can't he golf?
I wasn't
Weren't you on
allowed
the
to
tee
golf
box?
last
Weren't you at-
weekend.
The last ESPN thing, didn't you like dig a trench on the tee box?
What?
And am I missing something here?
Are you talking about when Ashton threw the club behind him?
Was it Ashton?
And that was 2 years ago.
Can you sling it?
I can hit it, yeah.
All right. I apologize.
Yeah, he's not Strofe taking 7 swings and a miss.
I'm bringing the clubs back, by the way.
Wait, Strofe's bad at golf too?
I mean, you saw him run. You think he's good at anything?
Golf doesn't involve running. I thought maybe there was a chance.
Well, but if you're that stiff, you're going to be that stiff swinging a club. You're going to be that stiff throwing.
Back in the Jim and Matt days before Molly got added to the program, when Strofe was the producer, they had a golf event, I believe, with some partners. I think the final count was he had a ball in the fairway and he swung and missed 9 times before picking up and throwing it down the fairway. Now, I've missed the ball. That's happened to me. I've never 8 or 9 times. I think twice is the most I've ever done it, and that was years ago.
How does a guy like that, who's clearly a NARP, choose sports talk radio? Like, I don't read books. Okay? I haven't read a book in 20 years. I'm not going to join a book club.
Take the over on that.
We have breaking news.
Am I right?
Chewy not reading a book.
You're telling me in your 30s you read a book?
I think what was the last book I read?
The Giver.
Green eggs and ham.
No, probably the poop book.
Yeah.
To the kids.
Everybody poops.
Yeah.
It's the last book you read cover to cover.
Yeah. No one reads anymore.
I have a
so
book in
dumb.
my bag I'm reading.
Yeah, but it's just. How about the people that just pretend they're reading to look smart? I used to do that, actually.
What What is this, confession time? What are we doing? We got to take a break. Potawatomi Casino Hotel is known for its endless ways to win. Friday, June 27th, Potawatomi is showing why that's the standard with the highly anticipated season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from those games roll into drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is up for grabs. Be there to win your share June 27th only at Potawatomi. More information available online. Must be 21 years old to play.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Backups are starting to get a little bit better. Southbound 43, still just a little bit backed up Good Hope Road all the way to Silver Spring, and then from Capitol Drive to Locust. Northbound slow from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keefe. Southbound 41 slowing from Silver Spring down past Capitol Drive as well. Northbound slowing from Mayfair Road up towards Burleigh. The rest of the system is actually looking pretty good. Traffic is brought to you by Third Ward Beer Garden. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden. Open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, mostly sunny skies, breezy, hazy. Scattered afternoon showers or storms, a high of 75. Tonight, showers early, then partly cloudy, a low of 50. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards. They're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel. It's a glow up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
Baseball is back. Brian Balaga here to bring you a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. A delicious and perfect pairing for a day at the ballpark. Stocked at American Family Field all season long. Surfside is only 100 calories per serving, and the best part, 0 bubbles. Ask for it at your local bar or liquor store. Surfside, an official partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Must be 21 years of age. Please drink responsibly.
Brewers and Padres action is coming at you June 6th through the 8th. Catch an electric weekend of baseball as 2 of the game's youngest superstars square off. The first Friday game of June means Wisconsinites can grab half-off tickets to the Brewers series opener on the 6th, then score one of the top giveaways of the season, a Jackson Churio replica jersey presented by Chevrolet for the first 25,000 ticketed fans through the gates June 7th. Get seats at Brewers.com.
This just in, the NFL schedule has dropped, and you know what that means. It's go time. Adam Schefter here with the Insider Tip. If you're trying to catch your team live this season, Vivid Seats is the move. For the best selection of games and seats, it's time to snap your tickets up now. Vivid Seats has great deals on great seats and the only rewards program in the game. It's no wonder they're the official ticketing partner of ESPN. So don't wait. Head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in those game days.
Evan Cohen here. La Quinta by Wyndham is deeply grateful for all our military members, veterans, and their families. They understand the dedication, sacrifice, and hard work that comes with serving our country. As a thank you, La Quinta offers 12% off standard rates, upgraded Wyndham Rewards, Gold Status membership, and preferred parking. They want to make sure your stay is as comfortable and rewarding as possible, and they're proud to serve those who serve. Tonight, La Quinta, tomorrow you shine. Visit LQ.com to learn more about these special military perks and discounts. Restrictions apply.
Buying and selling a home can be a stressful process. Hey, it's Jen Latta from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. The We Sell group at Keller Williams has a goal of making it stress-free for everyone. Their passion is people, their availability is unmatched, something I'm experiencing firsthand while I search for a lake home to enjoy Wisconsin summers even more. Rob and Nick are there every step of the way, not just for their sellers, but also to potential buyers and their agents to bring in as many strong offers as possible. Get started today at wesell.kw.com. That's wesell.kw.com.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
There's 2 things she counts in the house. One of the pictures. What do you think the other one is?
Firearms.
Viagra.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Back here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, fresh off a Chewy win in Week in Rechew. Bill Barnwell has put together a list of superlatives. You know superlatives, they're like the yearbook stuff, right? Like most likely to succeed, most athletic, most likely to go to space, or whatever
what
it
did
is.
we get here as a group in our yearbook?
I got most athletic.
Checks out. I got funniest laugh. Which
feels also checks out.
Which feels like a category created to put me in the superlatives.
Just for you.
Right.
I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look. I have no idea.
I don't even know if I have my yearbooks.
Most likely to have her father at school at dismissal? Yes. Like something like that.
What'd you do this time?
No, he was a coach, so he was always there. That's what I mean. Like, I'd walk out of my class and he'd be in the lobby, writing up his workouts for practice. So the Packers got a superlative for the upcoming season. Most likely to have a log jam at wide receiver. I don't know how I feel about this. I got to be honest, guys. This doesn't feel complimentary. It feels more problematic. Am I wrong in reading it that way initially, Gabe?
No, because I look at this as, oh, man, the Packers have so much depth at wide receiver. If all your guys are just kind of meh and average, you don't really have a lot of depth. You just have a lot of bodies at that position. And that's just kind of another way to say the Packers just have a lot of bodies. And maybe Matthew Golden and Savion Williams, maybe they can separate themselves as the new guys because they have some athletic traits that the other ones don't have. But nobody's really separated themselves. And like this thought of the Packers having depth at that position doesn't really exist. They've got a lot of bodies. They've got a lot of guys you can rely upon. But obviously nobody that is great or has shown that they can be great.
So who are the locks? And include Watson in there. So the locks are Reed, Golden, and Savion.
To make the roster?
Yes.
Oh, Reed,
let's say
Wicks,
it's 6.
Watson, Savion. I mean, you've got 5 locks. If you're keeping 6 receivers, you got 1 spot left. Well, I guess if you're keeping 6, you...
Have they kept 7 before?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They have?
Yeah.
And where are they giving up the... Because don't they like to keep 4 tight ends?
Yeah, 3. It'll probably be 3 tight ends.
Okay.
Sometimes it's 4.
So who could be on their way out? Well, some of them are Hardman, Melton.
Yeah,
Keith.
Yeah, if you want to put Dobbs on that list, I don't think Dobbs is going to be cut, but if you like the way that Matthew Golden and Savion Williams develop,
then you trade him,
and somebody comes knocking on your door going, "Hey, we're willing to give you a draft pick for Romeo Dobbs." Goody can pull the trigger on that if they like the way the other guys have stepped up throughout the course of training camp. But that's not happening like this summer. That's going to happen right before the season because he's still somebody that they can, once he's on the field, they feel like they can trust for him to be in the right spots and do things like that.
What would they get for him?
Conditional 6th?
No way. He's better than that, isn't he?
Dude's had 600 yards receiving. Like his best years.
There's been a log jam. That's the problem.
Did you read log jam, Chew, as a positive or a negative?
I mean, they do right now. They do have a lot of the same guys, which would equate to a log jam. But I mean, if someone's got to separate themselves, right?
Yeah, and that's how you break up the
They
log
went
jam.
and signed. They went and signed
Hardman.
No, Golden's roommate out of Texas. So it's like Goody's not. It's like Goody is uber pissed at the receiver room, right? Because you do as a player. Let's just say you're Wicks, right? And they keep bringing in receivers. You kind of get a little ticked. Like, when's enough? Do you agree or no?
I'm just reading about Sam Brown Jr. now. That's what I was doing. When you said they signed his roommate, I was like, hold please, Google. Okay, yes, they did sign Sam Brown Jr.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's going to be one of the toughest places to break through as an undrafted. Because think about how much they like Bo Melton.
Yeah, but if you're
Bo Melton's fighting for his roster life.
Yeah, I know.
Malik Heath is fighting for his roster life. These are guys that they have trusted and liked in the past, but again, they're bodies. Hey, we like you because you've been able to do the right things at the right time, but we need guys that can actually step up and make plays consistently.
Can this type of dynamic ever backfire? Having this many bodies and trying out this many guys and basically throwing spaghetti against the proverbial wall, can this backfire in a way where maybe guys aren't getting the number of reps that they would like to be getting? I know they're going to split them all up, and you got plenty of quarterbacks to be running the offense, on many corners of the field. But
I don't think it does. I don't think it does because back in the day, early Ron Wolf, the locker room was kind of a turd. And if you lost a game, everyone knew if you lost a game, one or two guys are going. So it kind of scares the hell out of you, And it I think it actually makes you play better, right?
For some guys. Other guys just again, especially knowing that you have somebody who just shut it down last year for a couple of days.
Take Wicks, for example, who had a lot of drops last year. If he has the same year as he did last year, he ain't coming back. The window is small, man. You guys, the window is small. And
you mean for evaluation? You mean for them to make judgments on these guys?
Yeah.
But again, I generally, Chew, I would agree with you on that. But it feels like this organization and this front office is allowing for the evolution, right? The whole point was that somebody was supposed to step up last year. That didn't happen. Nobody got bounced. They're bringing them back. Let's run it back. Let's see who evolves or who steps up this year. It feels like the window is large, actually, for these wide receivers.
It's a rookie contract. You're going to get all. If somebody like Equinemius St. Brown's going to get all 4 years, you're going to get all 4 years. You have to be Jamon Moore bad, and none of these guys are Jamon Moore bad. Where you're dropping just about everything coming your way, you're not running the right routes ever, right? Jamon Moore was out of the league in 2 years. Didn't get many opportunities because of what he had put out there. That's how bad you have to be not to get the opportunity to come back.
I'm just saying from the standpoint, they're very impatient. And I had a horseshoe up my hinder because in my third year, they were expecting me to start, hurt my hamstring, got injured again. And if we didn't have injuries after me, I was gone. But just so luck had it, guys kept getting hurt and we can't cut him yet. And then I had my window. This was kind of it. My window, you either do something or you're gone, and I did something. Thank God. But I look back at my career, and I'm like, and Mike Reinfeld, who I talked to, years after I played, he's like, dude, you have no idea how close you were. That's the window. That's how small the window is. It's like, holy, my life would have been a lot different.
Well, because
I wouldn't have been able to meet you fine people if they cut me. That was a compliment.
Was it?
Josh?
Yes.
The way you said the word fine didn't really feel like you meant it.
Yeah, but that's your fault.
What?
Yeah.
How is that my fault?
Because you use the word fine more than anyone at this station.
Oh, that's true. That's a fact.
Am I right?
It's fine.
Yeah,
they're fine.
Exactly. It's not a compliment.
I do want to put a bow on this very quickly. The Chicago Bears superlative, if you're curious, was most likely to dial up play action. And Gabe, you had said that's a nod to Ben Johnson reimagining the offense. Then the Lions was most likely to be healthier on defense. Couldn't be much unhealthier on defense. At one point, they had 13 players from their defense who were down. And then the Vikings is most likely to flex on the line of scrimmage. Now, that feels like a compliment. Flex on the line of scrimmage, right?
Yeah.
Show their dominance. That's a strength. I just don't know if logjam is a compliment or more of a sign of a problem, if it's more problematic. Let's put that on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Infinity Exteriors poll, Joshy. Is logjam at wide receiver the superlative that Bill Barnwell wrote on ESPN.com for the Green Bay Packers a compliment or a criticism? Let us know what you think. 800-990-3776. I got one. I don't. I do. I don't. Looking for a home could be a lot of things. Stress. Gabe got so stressed. Stressful, time-consuming, expensive. He's still shaking his head at me, but looking for a home should be an exciting chapter in your life. The We Sell group at Keller Williams knows this, guys. Their passion is people, and they want to help you during the process if you're looking for a home or if you're selling a home. Here's the thing, guys. You want people who are knowledgeable and approachable and have unprecedented availability, and that is Rob and Nick at the We Sell group. They have been helping us in the process. They will help you in the process. Get started on your stress-free journey today at wesell.kw.com. That's wesell.kw.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some... Why are you throwing... I don't want...
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN show streaming on video.
By me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
It is finally starting to feel like summer, and with summer comes festivals, road trips up north, and so much more. Hey, it's Jen Latta. I'm here with Sarah Neubauer from Potawatomi Casino Hotel. So, Sarah, tell us why Potawatomi is the perfect place for all the festivals and happenings this summer in Milwaukee.
Well, to start off, we have a beautiful hotel with incredible rooms and views of the city. You don't have to worry about traffic or driving all the way home from those. Potawatomi is a quick ride share from the lakefront, downtown, and stadiums. And we have over 6 late-night food options on property until 1 a.m. And you can keep the party going with all of our entertainment here 24/7. So it's definitely the place to go for all of your events this summer in Milwaukee.
And for those people who are looking to get out of the city, maybe take a trip up north, you have another location in the Northwoods, right?
We do, and not many people know about it. It's a gem located near Carter, Wisconsin. It's fitted with a luxury hotel. There's dining on property, even with a Rock and Brews restaurant of their own up there. There's also 2 Rock and Brews themed hotel rooms you can book, a pool, hot tub, ATV excursions, and the great outdoors.
What more can you ask for? Talk about an all-in-one experience. I highly suggest checking that one out for a fun summer vacation spot. And finally, we have to talk about this full-back platter that just came into play at the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Yes, come try champion John Kuhn's signature special. The full-back platter is loaded with appetizers that he drafted from a lineup himself. There's Philly cheesesteak sliders, cream cheese jalapeno poppers, fried portobello mushrooms, chicken tenders, and cheese curds.
That sounds delicious. Where can everyone go to learn more?
Potawatomi.com.
That's POTAWATOMI.com.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Born in the heart of the earth, natural diamonds rise up like the notes of a song from the throat of Mother Nature.
Rick, that was positively poetic. Mother Nature sings diamonds. Sarah, wow, you can sing.
Born in the heart of a plasma chamber, created diamonds fall softly like snowflakes from the heart of a star.
A star that shines like true love.
Natural diamonds are earthborn.
Created diamonds are starborn.
Kessler's has the largest selection of natural diamonds in the state of Wisconsin. All the different sizes, all the fancy shapes.
Give her a fancy diamond. We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
Bigger, brighter natural diamonds.
And financing that makes anything possible.
Kessler's is the largest employee-owned jewelry company in America.
Which means we can do anything we want to do.
For you. Mother Nature sings diamonds.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
But she doesn't know every now and then I got the blammer coming up and I'll let you use my tractor for 2 of the blue things. which I think's a pretty good deal, which gets me in trouble.
You got a Viagra ring? Yeah.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Here we go.
Summer is right around the corner. That means a lot of things. One thing I'm really excited for, Summerfest. I mean, who's not excited for Summerfest? But did you know if you buy $25 worth of participating items at Pick and Save and Metro Market stores, you can get 2 free Summerfest tickets? That's right, 2 free Summerfest tickets. And did you also know that includes Palermo's family brands of pizza? Think about that. Screamin' Sicilian, Neighborhood Pizzeria, Connie's, Surfer Boy, all those great brands. If you find them at Pick and Save and Metro Market stores, you can pick up those and buy $25 worth. Stock up on $25 worth of pizza. You can get 2 free tickets to Summerfest. It's Summer Feast. It's happening now at your local Pick and Save and Metro Market stores. For more information, visit pickandsave.com.
Like the show, 'cause it's on a budget. So yeah. Come on, here we go, yeah. Come on.
Here we go.
Get your votes in on our Infinity Exteriors poll. Do you view Bill Barnwell's superlative for the Packers of most likely to have a log jam at wide receiver as a compliment or criticism? Early returns have it as criticism. And speaking of superlatives,
it's not the worst one out there either.
It can't be the worst, but it isn't.
The Panthers most likely to have definitely solved their problem this time for sure.
See, that's funny. That's a good one.
I think it's my favorite one.
Are there any other funny ones?
Most likely to be dragged into the future for the New Orleans Saints.
Okay.
Most likely to petition the NFL to use an extra football for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because they have a lot of weapons.
Okay. That one takes a little bit of brain power.
Most likely to cut coupons on defense for the Los Angeles Rams.
Okay.
They haven't spent a lot of money on their defense.
Humorous.
Yeah, that's about the funny ones.
I got a superlative for Chew. Most likely to not fact check any information. It's true, right?
That's fair.
Have you ever looked up anything before you said it just to make sure?
Are you talking to me?
No, I was talking to the other person.
I'm not talking to the other two because they do.
I do a lot of legwork.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if you have a thought, because sometimes I have a thought that pops in my brain, and I go, is this right?
Yeah.
And
feels right.
Yeah. But then I do a little bit of digging before, I open up a microphone and say it. Have you ever had that thought process of,
no, I think it's
I'm not
based
sure
upon,
if this is right.
It's
Maybe
based upon what percentage of people listening are actually going to fact check, and I think it's so small that the facts don't always need to be right.
The number of people listening or the number of people who will fact check? I confused him with that one. I'm sorry. That's my bad.
Are we saying facts check?
Fact.
CT.
It sounds like he's saying facts, like FAX.
Oh,
like he got
I'm back.
up.
Yeah, I gotcha. Most likely to save my butt on the radio is Joshy, because he's got the dumb button. So if I say the wrong thing, bloop. And Gabe is most likely to cut a cage match promo on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Haven't had one in a while. We might need to find one.
I'm sure there's somebody who's going to piss me off during the Giannis saga.
100%. 0% chance that doesn't happen. All right, Wilde and Tasha's next. Have a great weekend, everybody, on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee.
Things are looking good right now. Southbound on 43 from Silver Spring, a little bit tight all the way down past Capitol, but then after that, look